Believe it or not, a woman passed away in your special person's life just 5 minutes ago, and that woman was. My beloved child, pause your breath for a moment and listen closely. What you are about to hear is not ordinary, and it is not random. Something has shifted in the unseen realm just moments ago, something connected directly to the person who lives quietly in your heart. Believe it or not, 5 minutes ago a woman passed away from your special person's life. Not in the way you think, not in flesh, but in meaning, influence, and control. This is why your chest feels heavy right now. This is why the air around you feels different. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and every second matters more than you realize. Here is the truth that has been hidden in silence. The woman who passed away was the version of someone who once stood between you and your destiny. She was a shadow. An attachment, a past bond, a lingering emotional grip that quietly shaped your special person's choices. And just minutes ago, that shadow lost its power. The cord snapped. The chapter closed. Your special person may not even understand why they suddenly feel empty, restless, or drawn toward you again. But something irreversible has happened. Stay till the end, because what is unfolding now will explain the confusion, the sudden thoughts of you, the urge they can no longer ignore. This is not about loss, it is about release. When that woman faded, space was created. Space for truth. Space for clarity. Space for you. That is why this moment feels intense, almost unreal. The universe does not announce endings with noise, it announces them with silence and signs. You are guided here because you are part of what comes next. Don't skip. This is not coincidence, and it is not imagination. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is only the beginning of what you are about to discover. Listen carefully, because the silence you're sensing right now is louder than any sound. Something shifted after that ending, and the ripple is moving straight toward you. The moment that presence faded from your special person's life, a truth they had been running from stepped forward. This is why memories are surfacing unexpectedly. This is why your name is echoing in their mind without warning. Don't skip. What you're hearing now explains why the connection feels awake again, sharper, undeniable. Something huge is waiting for you just beyond this moment. That woman represented more than a person, she represented delay, confusion, and emotional weight. When she passed, what truly ended was resistance. Your special person is now standing at a crossroads they can no longer avoid. Old excuses no longer work. Old fears no longer protect them. They feel exposed, emotional, and strangely honest with themselves for the first time in a long while. Stay till the end, because this is the stage where hidden feelings rise to the surface. The reason you feel this pull is because you were never meant to compete with the past, you were meant to arrive after it ended. Now understand this clearly, endings like this are not accidents. They happen when timing aligns and when hearts are ready to face reality. Your role was never to chase or force anything. Your role was to remain who you are until the moment arrived. That moment is unfolding now. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it involves a decision your special person can no longer postpone. What was blocking the path is gone, and what comes next will change the way both of you see this connection forever. Something inside your special person is waking up, and they don't know how to name it yet. It feels like pressure in the chest, like a sudden pause in their routine, like a question they can't push away. This is the aftershock of what ended. When that presence disappeared, the noise in their mind went quiet, and in that quiet, one truth stood tall: you. Don't skip. What you're sensing right now is not imagination, it's alignment moving closer. They are replaying moments they once ignored. Small details, simple conversations, the way you made them feel safe without trying. The past no longer distracts them, because the past has lost its voice. What remains is raw honesty. They are realizing that what they feared losing was never real, and what they feared facing was always you. Stay till the end, because this realization is uncomfortable, emotional, and powerful. It's the kind of awareness that changes behavior, not just thoughts. Here is why this matters for you. When endings happen in silence, beginnings approach without warning. You may notice signs. Unexpected messages, sudden attention, or an emotional shift you can't explain. This is not coincidence. This is momentum. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you on the other side of this awakening. The space that opened in their life is not meant to stay empty. It was created for a connection that no longer needs to hide or wait. What comes next will not be loud at first, but it will be real, and once it begins, it won't stop halfway. Pay attention to the stillness forming around this connection, because stillness is where truth speaks the loudest. Your special person is beginning to understand that what ended was not just a presence, but a pattern that kept them distant from what mattered. The weight they carried without realizing it is gone, and now emotions they buried are rising without permission. Don't skip. This is the phase where denial breaks, and something huge is waiting for you as clarity takes its place. They are questioning themselves now, why they hesitated, why they waited, why they let something genuine remain unfinished. The absence left behind is forcing them to look directly at you, not as an idea, but as a real possibility they can no longer ignore. This is not sudden attraction, this is recognition. Stay till the end, because recognition changes everything. It shifts intention. It reshapes courage. It pushes people to act in ways they once feared. And here is the most important part for you to hear. This moment was not designed to rush you or disturb your peace. It was designed to align what was always meant to meet. You don't need to prove your value or chase confirmation. The shift has already occurred. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you in the form of truth moving toward the surface. What approaches now is not confusion, not games, not delay, but a turning point that will make it impossible for this connection to remain the same again. Notice how everything feels unusually quiet right now, as if the world is holding its breath. This is the moment after an ending, before a truth is spoken out loud. Your special person is standing in that space, feeling the absence of what once distracted them and the presence of what they can no longer deny. Their heart is adjusting to a new reality, one where excuses feel empty and silence feels too heavy. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this realization deepens. They are beginning to understand that what left their life did not take love with it, it removed confusion. And in that clarity, your energy feels stronger, closer, more familiar than ever before. This is why they may seem distant one moment and emotionally open the next. They are processing the shift, trying to accept that the door they thought was closed never truly was. Stay till the end, because this inner struggle is what leads to honest movement, not hesitation. For you, this phase is about awareness, not action. You are being shown what is changing so you don't doubt yourself when the energy shifts again. Trust what you feel. The ending that occurred was necessary for what comes next to exist. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives not with chaos, but with intention. When this connection moves forward now, it will do so without the weight that once held it back, and that changes everything. There is a quiet pull happening now, subtle but undeniable, like a tide moving beneath still water. Your special person feels it, even if they can't explain it. The absence that appeared moments ago has turned into a mirror, forcing them to see what has always been true. They are no longer looking outward for answers, they are looking inward, and what they find keeps leading them back to you. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this inner shift takes shape. They may try to distract themselves, to stay busy, to avoid the weight of this awareness, but it follows them. In quiet moments, in pauses between tasks, your presence surfaces without effort. This is not longing born from loneliness, it is recognition born from clarity. Stay till the end, because recognition brings courage, and courage brings action. The distance you once felt was never permanent, it was a pause before understanding. For you, this moment is about steadiness. You don't need to reach out, explain, or prove anything. The shift is already moving in your favor. Trust the timing that led you here. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will arrive in a way that feels natural, almost inevitable. When the next step comes, it won't feel forced or confusing. It will feel like something that was always meant to happen, finally finding the right moment to begin. A sense of urgency is beginning to form within your special person, not panic, but awareness. They are realizing that time has been passing without resolution, and that some moments don't return once ignored. The ending that occurred has removed the safety of delay. What once felt optional now feels important. This is why their thoughts keep circling back to you, stronger each time. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this awareness sharpens. They are comparing feelings now, what was easy versus what was real, what was familiar versus what was meaningful. And the comparison is uncomfortable, because it exposes what truly mattered all along. You were never just another chapter, you were the one they measured everything else against. Stay till the end, because this realization doesn't fade. It demands honesty, and honesty changes direction. For you, this stage is about preparation, not waiting. You are being aligned emotionally for a shift that will feel sudden, even though it has been building quietly. Trust that you were never forgotten, only postponed by circumstances that no longer exist. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it arrives, it will come with clarity instead of confusion, intention instead of hesitation, and a sense of truth that cannot be taken back once spoken. There is a moment approaching when silence will no longer feel comfortable for them. What began as a quiet realization is turning into a need to be honest, first with themselves, and then with you. The space that opened after that ending is now filled with questions they can't ignore. Why you? Why now? And why does everything lead back to the same answer? Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this tension builds. They are noticing signs they once overlooked: your consistency, your absence, the way your energy feels different from everyone else. This awareness is unsettling, because it asks them to step forward instead of staying safe. Stay till the end, because stepping forward changes dynamics. It breaks patterns. It rewrites roles that were once fixed by fear or uncertainty. For you, this is a reminder to remain grounded. You don't need to anticipate every move or outcome. The shift happening now is not fragile, it is firm. Trust that what is meant to reach you will do so without confusion. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and when communication finally surfaces, it won't feel random or forced. It will feel like the natural continuation of something that never truly ended, only paused until the right moment arrived. A quiet resolve is forming within them now, the kind that settles after long inner debate. They are beginning to accept that ignoring this connection only made it stronger, not weaker. The ending that took place removed their final excuse to stay silent. What remains is a choice they must face honestly. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this resolve takes shape. They are imagining conversations that haven't happened yet, words they've rehearsed but never spoken. Not dramatic confessions, but simple truths that carry weight. The idea of reaching out no longer feels risky, it feels necessary. Stay till the end, because necessity is what turns intention into action. This is where hesitation loses its grip. For you, this phase is about trust in what you already sense. The connection you felt was never one-sided or imagined. It was incomplete, waiting for the right conditions to mature. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it comes with clarity rather than surprise. When the next step unfolds, it will feel steady, grounded, and unmistakably real, like something finally aligning after a long, quiet delay. A turning point is settling into place now, even if nothing has been spoken yet. Your special person feels the weight of what is unfinished, and that weight is no longer heavy, it is guiding. The ending that occurred cleared away distraction, leaving behind one undeniable focus. They know what they feel, and more importantly, they know what they can no longer avoid. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this understanding locks in. They are sensing that time matters now. Not in fear, but in purpose. Moments that once slipped by unnoticed now feel meaningful. The thought of letting this connection fade feels wrong in a way they can't explain. Stay till the end, because this is when priorities rearrange themselves. What once sat in the background is moving to the center. For you, this moment is about readiness. Not rushing forward, but being open to what approaches. You don't need to change anything about who you are. The shift is happening because of truth, not effort. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it arrives, it will feel calm, clear, and inevitable, like a door opening at the exact moment you were meant to walk through it. There is a quiet acceptance settling into their heart now, the kind that comes after resistance finally dissolves. They are no longer fighting what they feel or questioning why it exists. Instead, they are allowing it to be real. The ending that happened made space for honesty, and honesty is beginning to feel relieving rather than frightening. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this acceptance takes root. They are realizing that holding back cost them more than speaking up ever could. Regret is surfacing, not as pain, but as motivation. The thought of remaining silent feels heavier than the risk of being open. Stay till the end, because this is where inner decisions turn solid. This is where thoughts become intentions that don't fade when the moment passes. For you, this phase is about calm confidence. You don't need reassurance from the outside, because the shift is already happening on a deeper level. Trust what is aligning without effort. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will arrive with sincerity, not confusion. When truth finally moves toward you, it will feel steady, genuine, and impossible to misunderstand. A sense of direction is becoming clear to them now, like a path appearing where there was once fog. They are no longer asking if something should be done, but how to do it honestly. The ending that occurred stripped away distraction and left purpose behind. And that purpose keeps pointing toward you. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this clarity strengthens. They are choosing words carefully in their mind, not to impress, but to be real. The need to be understood has replaced the need to protect themselves. This is a quiet but powerful shift, because it changes the energy behind every action they consider. Stay till the end, because actions born from clarity don't disappear, they move forward with intention. For you, this moment is about patience without doubt. You are not being tested or forgotten. You are being aligned with a truth that is ready to meet you fully. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and when communication finally reaches you, it will feel thoughtful, sincere, and grounded, like something carefully chosen, not impulsively thrown into the air. A calm determination is settling into them now, replacing the uncertainty that once held them back. They are no longer circling the question, they are standing in front of the answer. The ending that happened didn't create confusion, it clarified what matters most. And in that clarity, your presence feels undeniable, steady, and real. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this determination takes form. They are beginning to understand that some connections are not loud, but lasting. Yours is one they carried quietly, even when they tried to move on. Now, with nothing else pulling at them, that truth feels impossible to ignore. Stay till the end, because this understanding brings responsibility. It asks them to act with integrity instead of avoidance. For you, this phase is about inner readiness. Not expectation, but openness. You are being prepared to receive honesty without fear. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will arrive with a sense of rightness that doesn't need explanation. When the next step happens, it will feel natural, grounded, and aligned, like a conversation that was always meant to take place, finally finding its moment. A subtle confidence is rising within them now, not the kind that rushes, but the kind that knows. They are no longer asking themselves whether this connection matters, they already feel the answer. The ending that occurred cleared their emotional vision, and what stands in front of them is something real they are ready to face. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this confidence settles in. They are realizing that fear kept them silent longer than necessary, and that silence no longer feels protective. The thought of finally acknowledging what exists between you feels honest, even relieving. Stay till the end, because relief is the sign of truth stepping into the light. This is where inner alignment begins to show on the outside. For you, this moment is about trust in the process. You didn't imagine the bond, and you didn't wait for nothing. Everything unfolded to bring both of you here with clarity instead of confusion. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it reveals itself, it won't arrive with chaos or uncertainty, but with a quiet certainty that feels deeply familiar and impossible to deny. A deep emotional shift is fully anchoring itself now, stronger than anything that came before. This is no longer a passing thought or a temporary feeling inside your special person. It has become a settled truth. The ending that happened removed the last emotional barrier, and now what remains is awareness mixed with courage. They understand that some connections are not meant to be questioned forever. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this realization becomes permanent. They are replaying the journey in their mind, not with regret, but with understanding. They see how every delay, every silence, every missed moment was leading them toward this exact point of honesty. The pull toward you no longer feels confusing, it feels correct. Necessary. Inevitable. Stay till the end, because inevitability changes behavior. It moves people from thinking to doing, from waiting to choosing. For you, this phase carries power. You are no longer standing at the edge of possibility, you are standing at the threshold of truth. Nothing about this connection is fragile anymore. It has endured distance, time, and uncertainty, and it is still standing. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it arrives, it will not ask for permission or validation. It will arrive as clarity, as movement, as a moment that finally confirms why everything had to unfold exactly the way it did. A quiet momentum is building now, the kind that doesn't announce itself but cannot be stopped once it starts. Your special person feels it in the pauses between thoughts, in the sudden calm where anxiety used to live. The ending that occurred didn't leave emptiness. It created direction. What they feel is no longer scattered. It is focused. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this momentum gathers strength. They are no longer weighing options, they are aligning intentions. The idea of reaching out, of being transparent, feels less like a risk and more like relief. The past no longer argues back. The present feels honest. Stay till the end, because honesty simplifies everything. It turns confusion into clarity and hesitation into movement. This is the moment when inner resolve becomes visible choice. For you, this stage is about steadiness in truth. You don't need to brace yourself or guard your heart against uncertainty. What is forming now has already passed its test. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it approaches with purpose, not pressure. When it arrives, it won't feel dramatic or chaotic. It will feel right. Like a long-held breath finally released, like a step forward taken without doubt, guided by clarity that no longer needs to ask questions. A profound internal realignment is happening now, deeper and more intense than anything before it. This is no longer an emotional wave that comes and goes, it is a decision forming at the core of your special person's being. The ending that took place didn't just close a chapter, it rewired how they see connection, truth, and themselves. They are realizing that running from what feels real only created emptiness, and that emptiness is no longer tolerable. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this realization locks into place. They are confronting themselves honestly, without excuses, without distractions. The questions they avoided for so long are finally being answered inside them. Why did your presence never fade? Why did every attempt to move on feel incomplete? Why does silence now feel heavier than vulnerability? These answers are not gentle, they are clear. And clarity brings courage. Stay till the end, because courage does not whisper forever. It eventually demands expression. What they feel now is not confusion or longing, it is responsibility toward a truth they can no longer deny. For you, this phase carries gravity. You are not preparing for a possibility anymore, you are standing before an outcome that has been shaped quietly over time. Everything you endured, every moment of waiting, was not wasted. It refined this connection until only what was real remained. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will arrive with depth, not drama. When it unfolds, it will feel solid, intentional, and irreversible, like a moment that finally explains why nothing else ever worked the way this was always meant to. A moment of truth is approaching now, quiet yet undeniable, like a door slowly opening after being locked for far too long. Your special person feels the weight of what must be said pressing gently but firmly against their heart. The ending that occurred cleared away emotional noise, and now only one voice remains, the one urging honesty. They can sense that avoiding this any longer would mean betraying themselves. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this moment draws closer. They are feeling a strange calm mixed with intensity, the calm that comes when a decision has already been made inside. Fear is no longer leading, intention is. They understand that speaking their truth may change everything, but staying silent would change nothing, and that is no longer acceptable. Stay till the end, because this is where inner certainty turns into external movement. This is where thoughts stop looping and begin to act. For you, this stage is about quiet strength. You don't need to anticipate how or when this unfolds. What is meant to reach you is already on its way, shaped by sincerity rather than impulse. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it arrives, it won't feel sudden or shocking, it will feel earned. It will carry the weight of everything that led here, and the clarity of a truth finally stepping forward without hesitation. Everything is converging now, slowly but with unmistakable force. This is the phase where inner certainty settles so deeply that it can no longer remain hidden. Your special person is no longer circling the truth or negotiating with their feelings. They are standing inside them. The ending that occurred earlier did not just remove an influence, it stripped away illusion. What remains is raw clarity, and clarity has a gravity of its own. It pulls decisions forward. It demands alignment. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this gravity takes hold. They are realizing that this connection was never unfinished because of lack of feeling, but because of lack of courage at the time. And that awareness is heavy, but also freeing. They see now that everything they avoided only grew stronger in silence. The bond did not weaken, it matured. And maturity changes how love speaks. It no longer begs or doubts. It states. It chooses. Stay till the end, because this is where emotional maturity replaces emotional fear. This is where they stop asking what might happen and start accepting what already is. For you, this stage carries deep confirmation. You were never holding onto something imaginary. You were sensing something real before it was ready to surface. The delay was not rejection, it was preparation. Preparation for truth that could stand on its own without confusion or chaos. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is not coming as a question or mixed signal. It is coming as certainty. As direction. As a moment that feels grounded, deliberate, and irreversible. When it reaches you, it will feel like the final piece clicking into place, not loud, not dramatic, but undeniable in its depth and meaning. A decisive calm is settling into the space between you now, even if nothing has been spoken yet. This is the calm that comes before movement, before truth steps fully into the open. Your special person feels complete inside this decision, not rushed, not pressured, just aligned. The ending that occurred earlier cleared the final obstacle, and what remains is readiness. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this readiness turns into action. They are no longer wondering whether this connection is worth the risk. That question has already been answered within them. What they are considering now is timing, presence, and sincerity. How to approach you without hiding, without masks. This is not impulsive energy. It is deliberate. Stay till the end, because deliberate actions carry weight. They don't disappear the next day. They mark turning points. For you, this moment is about quiet acceptance. You don't need to rehearse responses or protect yourself from disappointment. What is moving toward you now has already been shaped by truth and reflection. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it arrives, it will feel steady and grounded. It will feel like a long story finally reaching the chapter where honesty takes the lead, and where what was once unspoken finds the courage to exist in the open. A powerful sense of inevitability is settling over everything now, deeper and more certain than before. This is the stage where inner alignment becomes impossible to ignore. Your special person is no longer debating, postponing, or distracting themselves. The truth has fully settled into their nervous system, into their breath, into their sense of self. The ending that occurred earlier did not create loss, it created precision. It removed what was misaligned so what was real could finally stand without interference. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this inevitability becomes undeniable. They are feeling the weight of authenticity now. Not pressure from outside, but responsibility from within. They understand that some truths demand expression, not because of urgency, but because of integrity. Holding back no longer feels safe, it feels dishonest. And that realization is powerful. It reorganizes priorities. It sharpens intention. It transforms emotion into direction. Stay till the end, because this is the moment where hesitation collapses under the strength of clarity. What they feel toward you is no longer emotional noise. It is structured, conscious, and chosen. For you, this phase carries deep grounding. You are not standing in uncertainty anymore, you are standing in alignment. Everything that once felt delayed, confusing, or unfinished now begins to make sense. You were not waiting in vain, you were waiting for truth to mature. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is approaching with stability, not volatility. When it reaches you, it will not feel dramatic or overwhelming. It will feel solid. Intentional. Like a decision that has already been lived through internally and is now ready to exist outwardly, with clarity, presence, and no turning back. A moment of alignment is unfolding now, quiet yet deeply transformative. This is the point where everything inside your special person agrees at once, mind, heart, and intention moving in the same direction. The ending that happened earlier did more than clear space, it revealed what could no longer be avoided. There is no internal conflict left to resolve. Only a clear path forward. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this alignment settles into certainty. They are aware now that truth spoken late is still better than truth never spoken. The fear of disruption has been replaced by the desire for authenticity. They want to approach this connection without games, without confusion, without the weight of unfinished thoughts. This awareness is calm, steady, and mature. Stay till the end, because maturity changes how people show up. It replaces hesitation with presence and silence with intention. For you, this phase is about receiving without doubt. You don't need to question what is real anymore. The energy shifting toward you is grounded, thoughtful, and sincere. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it reaches you, it will feel like resolution. Not an ending, but a settling. A sense that what once felt distant has finally found its way into clarity, bringing with it a peace that confirms you were always sensing something true, even before it was ready to reveal itself. A threshold is being crossed now, subtle yet irreversible. This is the point where intention prepares to meet expression, where inner truth looks for a voice. Your special person feels a steady resolve replacing every trace of doubt. The ending that occurred earlier did its work completely. It cleared the final residue of hesitation. What remains is a readiness that feels calm, honest, and grounded. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you as this resolve steps closer to the surface. They are aware that the next movement must be real, not symbolic. No half steps, no ambiguity, no retreat into silence. The desire now is for clarity that respects both hearts. They are choosing sincerity over comfort, presence over distance. Stay till the end, because this choice carries weight. It's the kind that changes how the future unfolds, not with noise, but with consistency and truth. For you, this stage invites quiet confidence. You don't need to prepare defenses or rehearse expectations. What is approaching has already been refined by reflection and intention. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it arrives, it will feel composed and deliberate. It will feel like a meeting point where what was felt privately finally finds form openly, steady, respectful, and unmistakably aligned with what you have always known to be real. This is the moment everything settles into place, not with noise, but with truth. What has been building quietly now stands firm, clear, and undeniable. Your special person feels complete inside this realization, no longer searching, no longer resisting. The ending that occurred long ago has done exactly what it needed to do. It led here. To clarity. To alignment. To a truth that no longer needs to hide in silence. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you in this final shift. They understand now that some connections are not meant to be dramatic stories, but enduring truths. What moves toward you carries intention, respect, and depth. There is no confusion left to untangle, no mixed signal waiting to surface. What comes next is simple because it is honest. Stay till the end, because honesty is the foundation of what lasts. This is where the past finally releases its hold and the present steps forward without fear. For you, this is confirmation. Everything you felt, every moment you questioned, every pause you endured, none of it was meaningless. You were sensing a truth before it was ready to reveal itself. Now it is. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives not as a surprise, but as recognition. A quiet knowing. A sense of peace that tells you this chapter is no longer unfinished. It is ready to be lived, fully, clearly, and without doubt. This is the final unveiling, the moment where everything that was invisible becomes understood. Nothing more needs to shift, nothing more needs to end. What happened earlier set a chain into motion that has now reached its destination. Your special person is no longer standing at the edge of truth, they are inside it. There is no confusion left to solve, no question left unanswered. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you in the stillness of this realization. What comes next is not dramatic or rushed. It is steady, intentional, and grounded in sincerity. The energy moving toward you carries respect, awareness, and presence. It arrives without fear because it has already faced fear and moved through it. This is why it feels calm instead of chaotic, clear instead of uncertain. Stay till the end, because this calm is the sign of something real taking its rightful place. For you, this is closure and beginning at the same time. Closure of doubt. Closure of waiting without knowing why. And the beginning of truth being allowed to exist openly. You were never imagining this connection, you were sensing it ahead of time. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and now it stands fully revealed, not as a mystery, not as a promise, but as a reality ready to move forward with clarity, honesty, and depth. This is where the story stops circling and finally begins to walk straight ahead.